how do you keep the work from flooding the relationship? This is was asked most likely when we're back talking about how you work with your wife. Is there a barrier there? Is there a point in the day where you just say no more talking about work, or does it happen naturally?
Yeah, it happens naturally. It's called kids. The moment you have kids, there's you forget about everything else. There's no denying that when you're handling kids, you can barely talk about things like Ghostbusters or kerning or whatever. So I think that moment is when you just forget that you run a design business and that you're actually running a family. So I think that's the real answer. There's no, because otherwise, when we were things, double income, no kids, all we would do is just talk about design and do design. You know, it does kind of like, and it doesn't get to you, but it's just kind of you forget that there are other things. But now with kids, it's just kind of like a forced break from design.
Um, do you find that it's when you sort of make that transition? Do you ever, like, looking back on it? Do you think that your where am I trying to go with this? I don't know. Because I'm in that sort of stage where we're dinks, double income, no kids. I'm married, no kids, but we have like crazy amounts of pets. But we don't have that. I don't have that come home and like completely disengage. When I come home, I'm still. I froze for 4 seconds. Sorry if there's some lag tonight, guys. When I come home, that like I'm at the point where I have trouble going to sleep because I can't stop thinking about that project I've got to do, or that blog entry I've got to write. I don't have that total shut off. Is it something that you miss?
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, I only know how to do one thing, and that's graphic design, whether it's doing graphic design work or writing about graphic design. So I do miss having that, my brain working on it all day long. Just because that's how you solve things, that's how you come to conclusions, that's how you come up with ideas. But the flip side is that when you get breaks, you're able to defocus on what you're trying to solve, and then all of a sudden you come back in the morning and, oh my God, I have the answer. Who knew that it was just lying there, somewhere between changing a diaper and putting your kid to sleep. Um, so I think, I think it works both ways. It's just a matter of maximizing those moments where your brain is kind of like just in poop mode or or whatever, or if you're up at night until 3 a.m. thinking about design, you have to find those specific spots where inspiration happens, and it can happen in either scenario, I think.
On a very more serious note, we got a question earlier from a tweeter. He's at Hell Yeah Dude, who wants to know, if you had a superpower, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
I've always thought that being invisible would be cool. Just kind of like sit in clients meetings, or if I were married, just going to girls' bathrooms. I don't know. I thought that would be a cool thing to not be noticed and still find out what people are talking about.
Brilliant. I would absolutely love that. Sneak around, sneak out of work without your boss catching you. That'd be brilliant. Um,
Yeah.
all right, let's keep on going. We're gonna fit in, Armin. We're gonna fit in as many friggin' questions as we can in the 1 hour that we
All
get
right.
with you. We know that your time is precious here, so we're gonna keep on rolling. This one comes from a generic name, Twitter user, who wants to know, when or where did you get the confidence in yourself as a designer?
I think it was just kind of like a matter of keep doing it and getting good feedback from from my bosses, from clients, and just seeing people react positively to what I was doing. And there's no other way. There's no point where I said, "Oh yeah, I really kick right now." If I didn't have a client or someone above me saying, "Yes, that's good," I wouldn't have that confidence. So I think it's really all about putting your work out there and having someone react positively to it. And I do kick ass.
You said that very intently. That was awesome. Gary Holmes wants to know, Armin, what concerns you most about the current state of design in the U.S.?
Hey, not much. I mean, I think if anything, I think it's just a matter a lack of being daring, and I think that becomes evident when we review the work of Wolf Olins or Saffron in Barcelona, things like that, where people are like, I don't really get it, or they say, what are they smoking? And I think we're not, these U.S. designers are not as open to non-traditional solutions as people in Europe or Asia or whatever, or even Australia. I mean, I think there's a fear of the unexpected, and for an industry that thrives on changing expectations, I think that's kind of like weird.
Everybody, we've got just a little bit of time left. Please get your, if you're going to submit a question, please jump in now and do so. I see we've got 38 people and not everybody signed in, so please jump in as soon as you can and submit those questions. You 13 spectators, I see you. Okay, so in 2003, on Speak Up, I have to bring this up because Debbie Millman was on the show not too long ago, and we were talking about her new sort of AIGA presidency and how things are going in the state of design community and all this. And it was pointed out to me that in her acceptance speech, she referenced a little conversation that happened in 2003, way back in 2003, on Speak Up, where somebody was, oh man, I'm gonna blow this now. I forgot the beginning of the conversation, but so there was some heated discussion about something, and in some of the comments, at one point, for whatever reason, two of the logos that her group had done, Sterling Brands in New York, were brought up, and then there was a off comment about you saying something about calling them turds, which is hilarious. She gets on right afterwards and says, I love that design discussion like this happens. And then she recalls that like 6 years later, when she's now in this position of sort of overlooking design community, where she's looking back at that moment in a positive light of, isn't it great that this opportunity is there for people to really talk about what they're passionate about, what they believe in. So what are your thoughts on that? Like, I mean, that was 6 years ago. What 6 years from now, looking back at all the conversation and the BS that goes on, and how is anybody 6 years from now going to make sense of everything that's going on?
I mean, I have pity for whoever wants to, go back and analyze all the stuff that went on design blogs. I mean, just if they run into the comments of Design Maven, if anyone out there knows what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I think that's what makes it so great and so energizing that you have completely random because you're able to say things that you wouldn't say in person. I mean, if I had been at Debbie's office looking through her portfolio, and in specific, it was the Burger King logo and some packaging for Star Wars. And if I had been sitting there and said, "Hey, Debbie, this is like really, these are turds. You should be ashamed of yourself," I would never say that. So I think the internet, for better or for worse, kind of like puts that barrier where you can say those things that are more honest and more stupid. But they're out there, and I think it's more honest, and at the same time, it's also a little bit more cowardly. But you know, it's out there, and I think that's what makes it as cool and dangerous as as it has been. And 6 years from now, who knows what's going to happen, or who knows how people are going to keep reacting to all the stuff that's been going on now. But I think more and more people are owning up to what they say, and you have less trolls and things like that. So it's just nice to have those conversations and have forums for those conversations to happen. Not just it used to be that those conversations happened in a bar, late at night after
Right.
a long day of a design conference. You would talk about the people that were there presenting. Now you can just do it during the day, during work hours. People that your bosses might know.
All of these sort of experiences all, lead into like the digital lifestyle, having mobile devices and laptops, and we can go anywhere in the world and communicate with anyone at any time. It's the most amazing communication period ever. Armin, what is in your digital lifestyle? What are the devices you use? What things do you surround yourself with? Do you shut off things at a certain time? Of course, you've got the kids, and you've got to, divert from that. And how do you set up your sort of digital lifestyle?
I mean, it's not too complicated. I just have like one basic desktop and my iPhone. Every now and then I'll be holding my, the baby with one arm and then checking my iPhone with the other. I've gotten very good at typing like this. Just and that's it. I mean, that's all I really need. That's how I stay in touch with email. I don't consume hours of Hulu or, you know, I have. I mean, I think I've watched one Funny or Die episode. A little video. So I think it's limited, but when I have the time, I just go full on, on my desktop, and that's it. But when I'm outside, I just kind of like lose track a little bit, which is fine. You, you have to let go a little bit.
Guys, we're wrapping up. If you want to get your question in, I think this is the last couple minutes, so throw it in there if you can. Armin, I don't know, some parting thoughts on where your design blogs are going, the different ways in your sort of creating your niche communities for print, or what are the next 5 years going to be for Armin Witt, and of course your wife and your family, and how you're going to shape your next moves.
I mean, we're definitely. I mean, we finally have the confidence that we have an audience that really believes in what we do, and I don't say believe in a corny way, but they just kind of like trust us to do a good job with the ideas and ventures that we do. So we're becoming more ambitious and kind of like, not more ambitious, but just more confident in that what we do will have an economic repercussion. It will have a good ROI, a good return on investment on our end. Whereas before we didn't have that confidence. With a brand new conference, we kind of like thought, yeah, that could work. Let's see what happens. And the response was just amazing. So that gives us the confidence to, okay, now what do we do? I mean, of course, that's going to be a yearly thing now. Hoping, assuming that it goes well the day of the event. But we're talking about doing more books, doing more, I don't want to reveal too much because there's a certain excitement that we want to build about around what we do. But we're becoming less dependent on clients, which makes it more, which gives us more room, more time to develop our blogs and just spend more time on them and refine them, and keep people coming back to our blogs more than other blogs, because at the end of it's become a business model for us to have the blogs and have them do well. And you think about hiring writers, but then you just kind of like you're going back to the old model. So we're still struggling with how to generate more content but keeping it at the same level. And, the great thing is that our clients are now designers, and we're designers, so we can like get our clients, which is great.
Mr. Vid, you are an inspiration to everyone at Design Chat and the audience and creatives all over the world. Congratulations on everything that you've been able to achieve already, and hopefully what is coming for you guys in the future. It's just so cool to tune in all the time and see what you're up to. Like I said before, it's like walking into the Candyland on Willy Wonka for us. It's really cool what you do every day. So with that being said, thank you guys for coming out tonight. We're going to be back next week, and we're going to announce the winner of the Cusp ticket winner. Please look for that and follow us on Twitter on @DesignChat. I'm Ryan McGovern at Hoopajube on Twitter. Armin, it was fantastic. Hang out for a couple minutes after we tune out. Thank you, audience, for coming out. We will talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.